So, hi guys. I thought I'd go ahead and explain to you what I found confusing about the dip switches on the back of, or on the bottom of my tube preamp. Is that the instructions, the way it reads is I thought I only had to deal with this part here, but as it turns out is I do have to deal with all four of them, or all 8 of them instead of just the last 4. And so the guy on the forums helped me figure it out. And that's what you have. You have a left and right channel to deal with. But the other problem I have with the moving coil cartridge right now, the reason why I can't use it is because the VTA, the vertical tracking angle on the 120 has been ditched. And that yet they kept the looks. They kept the looks, but you can't raise or lower the tonal arm anymore, which I kind of need that for the moving coil because it looks like looks like the plastic is sitting on my record, and then I'm afraid to use it on any of my other records. So I have basically went for the SL1200 Mach 3 because of that. But I've also found out that Audio-Technica now has a LP140 that has a raisable and lowerable tonal arm. So, but of course, that's a little bit like $100 to $200 more than the 120. And I have absolutely no hate for Audio-Technica, no hate for the LP120. I have had this for 3 years now. I have absolutely loved the sound of it, and I actually thought about getting an older version of this for the raisable and lowerable tonal arm to use with the moving coil cart. But the thing is, it cost about the same amount as the SL1200s that I was looking at, and I thought, well, since everybody was suggesting that I get an SL1200, I should try it. So I decided to get that, and I don't know, and maybe next year I'll replace the 120 with the 140 too, and sell this on. I don't know, but this, I love it. For the first turntable I've ever had, it's great. I even like the LP60, even though it is less versatile than the 120. So, as somebody just starting out, I don't think you need to put a ton of money into your turntable. If you want a turntable that you can switch out the styluses, you don't mind it looking like a DJ table, and that you're not going to have a stylus that's going to force you to raise or lower the tonal arm, the LP120 is great, although you might want to look into the LP140 if you want to spend a little bit more money than you would on the LP60. But even that, the LP60, you can replace the stylus with an elliptical one, and it sounds much clearer. You can do a few little things that, with your speakers and some wires that you can replace with good wires that will help tighten up the sound and clear it up quite a bit. So there's that. There's just little tricks that once you learn them, you can do with the LP60. And it's still a basic turntable. And I'm going to not hate on the Crosleys, but it's a lot friendlier than the Crosley will be to your records. The Crosley, I have one, and it's great to take outside. I don't know if I want to give it to my daughter just because I would rather spend the $100 or whatever, the $50 more on the LP60, or $100 more, I think it is. Well, whatever the Crosleys are running at now. I know they're like under 100, but like LP60s are anywhere from like $150 to $200, depending on what you get. And as I said, I feel like Bluetooth on these things is kind of just defeating the purpose of getting away from Bluetooth. And the speakers I have are Bluetooth, and I run my phone through them. But when you're listening to the record, why do you want to run it through Bluetooth? So I'm going to stop there because this is going to be a quick just explanation. And I will hopefully be able to put a video together on the LP120 at least within the next 2 weeks. And the problem with that is my kids. As I said, they're rambunctious, and it seems like every time I do something for myself, and they've been good all day, is like that's where everything kicks off. And I'm sure if you have kids, you all know what it's like. So I will try to get a video out about the turntable, then talk about my CD player, and then talk about the amps and the preamps and headphones and stuff like that, and then my speakers within the next month or so. Those will all come out hopefully within a week after each other. If not, we'll deal with it when we get there, and I'll come up with something to put out that week, because I'm going to have to sort of do a little bit more research and dig through these things to give you the correct information that I want to give you, so I can feel like I'm giving you a good idea about where you're going with your turntable if you're just starting out. And that, sorry, all these people that are like, don't make the mistake I made by getting the LP120. I mean, look, I've had this sucker for 3 years, and I could have gone on 4. I could have gone on 5 years with it, except for getting that moving coil cartridge. And like I said, everything I read said that this could handle it and my tube box could handle it. So I thought, okay, technically I should be able to run the moving coil. And I wasn't, because, well, and a lot of people are like, oh, it wasn't designed for that. Well, apparently it was, but it wasn't designed in the sense that you can't move the tonal arm. So that's sort of the problem I have is. And I know that sounds really dumb to have to go out and get another turntable because I bought a 200. Well, yeah, I guess it didn't really save me much money, did it? Because I went and put the money on the turntable. But hey, yeah, I mean, you live and you learn. And I'm hoping that when you guys hear this, you'll hopefully learn from my mistake and don't jump into a moving coil cart because you find one for like a third of the price and you're interested in listening to one and you're excited about it. But yeah, I mean, I still ended up spending the money I saved on the turntable. And we'll hopefully get into that turntable once it comes, and I can tell you the ins and outs of the problems that I have with the with it, and if there's pros or if there's cons, things that you should weigh within your purchase powers when you're beginning with your turntable. And I'm going to stop here, and I will get back to you guys soon, hopefully next week. But I'm going to have to go up and figure out what's the problem upstairs. Bye.